That's crazy. Hello, recently I'm coming into terms with my sexuality slash who I am, and I thought I'd like to let you know that you are my first interpretation of the furry fandom. That's a big thing on my shoulders. I'm your first I'm your first interpretation of the furry fandom. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Out of anybody to be a first interpretation, I'm a pretty good first. Child, there's a lot of things. A lot of people are putting into the furry fandom in the worst possible way. Typically, it's not. They get a bad impression via parents talking about it, or a friend being mean about it, or maybe there's some other thing that was just being crazy. And yeah, it's good to be. It's really good to be introduced to the fandom in a safe way. Because my first time I was introduced to the fandom, it was a friend like backsassing me, like, "Hey, are you a furry?" in like a negative way, and how he said it scared me, and I looked it up, and I realized I was, and there was negative consequences with it, so I closeted it forever. But having a good first impression, like you realizing that it's just a very fun hobby, and it is something similar to coin collecting, as in you don't really need to share it with everybody. It's not something that's like unnecessary, like talk about it with everybody type of thing. It's more of like just a very fun hobby where you enjoy this thing with everybody who also enjoys it. And if you really love fursuits or furry art or animation or whatever parts of the furry fandom you're enjoying, just know that there's also like a side thing that's also amazing, that is also furry related. That are like people that are like into cars, into video games, into all sorts of board games, Magic the Gathering, all sorts of crazy stuff. And you can meet them with all sorts of cool things. So you can meet a furry who's interested in the same things you are, who's also interested in a hobby that you love, and then it compounds, and you realize that being a furry and joining the fandom is a very, very, very good way to make really, really good friends. Really good friends. And yeah, it's like high school 2.0, where it's a little drama heavy in some situations. Just know when to stop and know when to get out of the way, and realize, have a good idea of whenever somebody is saying something not truthful. Because you get an idea pretty fast. You realize, wait a second, this person isn't interested in what I'm talking about at all, and they're just trying to dump all of their problems onto me. Because there's a lot of people in the fandom that just like talking to people infinitely about nothing, and they don't have a goal. They just want to vent to you forever. Sometimes they don't. That's not what a friendship is. Some people do a bunch of things in the fandom. That's crazy. And yeah, it is an LGBT like very, very open fandom. So if you do just so happen to be, you know, not what's the terminology? How do I explain this? If you're not just like a cis straight male or female who are just in the fandom, you odds are you will find somebody who is also not just a cis or straight, male or female. So it's a very open community for that as well. I went in the fandom with the love of fursuiting. This is like my favorite thing ever, and I just love this so much. And it is a lot of fun to just run around in a fursuit for like hours and talk to everyone, because furries are the most awesome people ever, and there is no question about that. And that's why I do what I do in the furry fandom, and that's why I suit forever, and that's why I love streaming with y'all, because y'all are amazing. Even if you are a human, if you're here, at least you're interested, and that makes my heart sing. Because if this is a place that you want to be, maybe later on, maybe you're planning on bringing your normie friend to a furry convention. You two are a normie, It's kind of how it goes. It's kind of how it goes. It's pretty crazy. Taking lots of notes. That was a better introduction than I could ever. Oh, well, that's awesome. That is amazing. I'm so happy you liked that. That was awesome.